Sending data. Sending data. Come on. Come on. Okay. I have one. And we should be good. All right.
All right, we're live again?
Should be.
All right, so we should be live again. All right, cool. So, Squires, modify them, change everything out. Welcome back to the show. You can modify these guitars and get all kinds of places with them. But moving up from there, we have the new Standard Series from Fender. And the Standard Series are great because these are built in Indonesia, and they kind of give you a nice resemblance to what was, if we all remember the Standard Series that were made in Mexico. This one is another HSS. And it's, it's about as standard as it's going to get from Fender. This is the, what color blue did they name this? I'm always curious if they went back with the old school blues. They're calling it aquamarine, but, it's very reminiscent of the old Lake Placid blue. Remember those guitars?
Yeah.
But we're getting into Standard Series electronics. The tuners are a bit upgraded, so that's nice. And you're just getting into nicer components. The neck feels nicer because you're going into that satin style finish on the back of the neck. You can tell though, if we move up to the Player series on the guitars, the Player 2s, have rolled edges on the fretboard. These do not, but you're still messing with your standard, I believe they're C-shape. And so it's a considerable step up when you're going from the Squires to the Standards. I know some of y'all are going to have an issue with the fact that it's got the Fender name on it, but it's made in Indonesia. But I wouldn't let that deter you or distract you from buying a nice quality guitar. Some people get really hung up on where the guitar was made versus how well the guitar plays. And let's be honest, maybe for a smaller company that might mean something more because your customer service, your dependability on the brand, all comes down to a small company building things overseas. But when we're getting into something like this, we're talking about Fender quality on a Fender product. So even though it's made overseas, all of your customer support, all your dealer support, anything like that that you would need if you had any issues with your guitar are right here in the States. You'd talk to me, right? I'd be the one helping you out with your guitar. So keep that in mind. So you can get the Squire. You can get the Standard Series made in Indonesia. If neither of those are, scratching what you're looking for, then you move up one more series, you go to the Player 2. What's nice about the Player 2 is, as I mentioned, the rolled edge. These have a compound radius on the fretboard. No, they don't. It's just a 9.5-inch radius. There's not compound. So it's a 9.5-inch radius, modern C-shaped neck, Player 2 series style pickups. This one here specifically in this finish is a chambered mahogany body. So you get that warmth of mahogany, but it's nice and lightweight, so you can easily take it to a gig for a few hours and not really feel anything burdening your shoulders or your back. This one was built within the 70th anniversary of the Strat, so you have the little 70th anniversary emblem on the back of the headstock. And what's really cool about these is you're going back to rosewood fretboards. The Player series guitars, rather than the Player 2, we're still pretty much operating with the Palfaro. But the Player 2 series, everything's back to rosewood. And that was a huge moment for Fender to be able to say, hey, here's this awesome quality guitar. Here's a rosewood fingerboard. Glad to be back there. I'm kind of flying because I need to stick a little bit to a schedule. And we had some issues with the original stream going down, so I'm just trying to move along quick. The Player 2 series, if that's something you really like, but you're missing a few features that you'd really like to add on to what you got, that's when you're going to look into the Player Plus. The Player Plus has Player Plus noiseless pickups. The neck has a very nice finish to it, and they do a great job cleaning that up. You can tell if I were to take this with the same exact finish, putting it up next to the Classic Vibe, you can tell that there's a better brilliance in the finish. There's a better quality in the wood that they're using. So you can take a look at that, and you can see the difference between the two guitars. If you were to set them side by side, you can tell that this is a nicer guitar than the other. Both still great guitars, but as we're moving up that line, you're seeing the noticeable differences between the two themselves. Also locking tuners, and I believe, rolled edges. Oh, that's right, you get the push-pull knob, which allows you to add in the neck pickup when you're in the bridge position, which is nice since you're noiseless. you can add in the other single coil pickup and not have to worry about the hum and the hiss that comes from the single coils. Going from there, you would move into the Vintera. So the Vintera series, this is a really cool guitar. I like this one a lot. I've been saying for a while now that I'll probably end up getting one of these. But I have not pulled the trigger because I've been grabbing a few other things here and there. But this is a legitimate 70s style Strat for the 70th anniversary. They went back and pulled in the 70th style Strat. This is with the Antigua burst, which is a fun, awesome classic finish from Fender. What's really nice about these, though, is you're getting the 70s style pickups. You have the larger, noticeable headstock that you get from the 70s style big headstock guitars. And the 3-bolt classic 70s pocket for the neck to go into the guitar. You don't really see that on anything else other than the 70s. 70th anniversary 70s style Strat in the Antigua burst. One of my favorite Strats in the store. And then, now going from the Vintera series, the next line of guitars would be the American Performer. However, that's just one of the lines that just skipped over real quick. Nothing against the Performer.
No.
But there's just not as much to talk about the Performer as there is once you start getting into the Pro 2s. The Performer is a fantastic guitar if you're looking to get into a USA made Fender for under $1,500.
Yeah.
Because I think they fall in roughly that $1,300 price range. Because I know your Pro 2s put you in that 15 and up area. 16 and up. Oh, I'm all 17. So this Pro 2 is $1749.99. They were on sale recently. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So the Pro 2s, these have the radius neck. You're going to get, I think it's 9.5 to 12, 9 to 12 inch radius neck. You don't have the locking tuners, but you have the nicer gear ratio. So it's a nice, easier way of saying you get more rotations, better tuning stability out of your tuners. This here is I believe they're alder body. This is the Miami blue finish. They're fun guitars. There's a little bit of a contour in the back of the heel, which makes it really nice and easy to get into those higher access frets. The V-Mod 2 pickups here for the single coil action. They do a great job. So they're not noiseless, but the V-Mod 2s are almost as noiseless as you're going to get while still getting the classic single coil tone that you want out of those pickups. Hand built in California. So, I say, USA style guitar. Fantastic. Miami blue finish. I like the mint green pick guard. I know some people have issues with that, but I do like the mint green pick guard. It looks nice when you start using the aged or the parchment style plastics on like the knobs and your bobbins and things like that.
Yeah.
What's really cool, and something I haven't even mentioned yet, is when you start messing with Strats as opposed to the Tele episode, on, I'd say 90% of the Strats, you can upgrade the trem system with FU tone. You can put in a brass block, you can swap out the claws and the springs, you can upgrade all that stuff with the FU tone parts. You can upgrade the tuners, so like say if you want like the locking tuners on the Player Plus, you can throw locking tuners on any Strat that you pick up. And then, going from there, we're going to skip over 2 additional lines of Fender.
Yeah.
So the Pro 2 is not the top of the line. So you have the Pro 2, and then you go into your Ultra 2s, which those are fantastic guitars. I think I have one Ultra 2 in stock. It's in the yellow, I forget the name of it, but it's a yellow finish, it's HSS. When you get into, there's a couple more, I think there's a different contour on the body, the necks do have the rolled edges, but you start getting into the ultra noiseless pickups, which are fantastic pickups, by the way. And then I think the Ultras have locking tuners. So, but we're going to go from the Pro 2. We're going to bypass the Ultras. We're going to bypass the Vintera, or not Vintera, the American Vintage 2s, which are also another great way to get into a redesigning and a rebuilding and not really a reimagining, because they're kind of built almost exactly like the same, of the old school vintage guitars. However, a way to get into a vintage Fender while skipping that line and still being able to talk about some nice Fenders, you can go to the custom shop. The custom shop, you're going to start getting into your aging or relicking. You're going to be able to get into things that some of the other stuff, other lines and brands from Fender just don't have the time to commit to when it comes to the precision that it deserves. So this here, if I remember correctly, yes, it's my 57, not mine, but it's Blanco's store.
Yes.
It's my favorite custom shop, I'll say that. It's a 57 Relic Stratocaster. This has a soft V, so really it's like, the soft V is almost a D shape when it comes to the neck. So the D, if you think about it, is rounded. This would be your V, and it's just going to come out just slightly. So it's not quite the shape of a V, not quite the shape of a D, but it's a soft V. And I like it because the way that they have it reliced and worn down, it feels really nice to touch. It fits right in that cusp of my hand really well. This has the Texas Special pickup, so this thing, it wails. It gives you all the nice gristle and gain that you would want out of a nice hard rocking Strat.
Yeah.
It used the quarter sawn maple neck. So remember we've talked about how they cut maple out of like a piece of lumber or out of a trunk to get the lumber. And it's a different way of cutting the grain pattern. It gives you better tuning strength, better stability. Your neck is less likely to bow and go in and out of being out of intonated and everything in there because of how that's drawn. And then, of course, the Relic and aging. They do a great job on these. I know people online like to make fun of the Relic department and the aging of the guitars. But Fender really does do a great job and on their attention to detail and how those play out, especially when you start getting a closer look at how the fingerboards, like, what's great about this one specifically is if you pay close attention, the relicing on the back of the neck portrays really well to how well the relicing is done on the fingerboard. So the relic on the back of the neck is heavier up here, and if you look at the fingerboard, like in our pictures on our listing online, you'll see that these frets are all worn out. And these parts of the fingerboard are worn out. Well, on the back, it's more worn out here than it is up here, but there's still some aging and relicing going on there. So fantastic work on these. I think if I were to do custom shop, I would definitely grab something with the Texas Specials. There's all kinds of great opportunities that come out of the custom shop, especially a couple times a year they do these special, not auctions, but they do these events where all the different Fender custom shop dealers get to go in and grab guitars and I want this one, I want that one, and that's one of those. And I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So there's a lot from Fender. When I say a lot, there's a lot, and I'm not trying to say you're never gonna find one. It makes it real easy to find one because there's so many options to choose from, and a lot of them are all pretty spot on. So remember, if you want a Strat, don't get held up on the fact that maybe you can't afford a Pro 2 at $1,700, or you can't afford the custom shop at $4,600. You can still get a great guitar at $1,500, at $1,000, at $800 or $900. $450, $500. The Sonic series, I wish I had one of those up here, but they're only $200, $230. Killer guitars. Fantastic pieces. So there's something for everybody when you're going Squier. You can go all the way up the line. You can go move forward. You can move backward. You can modify your stuff. They make a fantastic guitar, and they make all kinds of great ways to modify it. One of these days, I kind of want to do an episode where we just go through all the different artist guitars we have in the store. Not specifically from a brand, but we just start picking artist models. Maybe
That's quite a few episodes of that.
Maybe we'll do Artist April, and every Live at 5 will just be artist model guitars. We probably have enough to do the whole month of April.
I mean, we do have quite a lot.
4 episodes, 7 hooks, 21 guitars. We probably have enough.
I off the top of my head, I know two ESPs that I've done recently.
Plenty of ESPs. But you gotta think about between Fender, ESP, Ibanez, PRS.
Yamaha.
No signature Yamahas.
We don't have the what's his name? Bill.
Oh, we might have the Sheehan bass.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think we have that Telly style guitar too. So we might have 2 Yamahas. I forget the guy's name that does the Telly.
Yeah,
we might have his Telly back there.
I don't remember either, but
Gibson and Epiphone.
The bass always comes to my mind.
Yeah. There's options. There's definitely options. I think I'm gonna make that happen. So that'll be Artist April.
Okay.
I'll come up with a smoother name. So, but thanks for if you came back to watch after the little technical difficulty there. Thanks for
My-
tuning in. Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, my computer completely locked
Just
off.
like frozen, shut down, and we're back. Well, we came back. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's anything really upcoming that's worthy of talking about, other than we do our every day we're collecting donations for free guitars for kids. So next time you're here in the shop, just say you'd like to raise to the next dollar, or if you'd like to just make a donation, let us know. We can make that happen. And want to thank Stringjoy for sponsoring our service center, sponsoring our show, and just doing all the things they do for us. So that's all for today. Remember, check out some Stratocasters. We'll find the guitar for you. Keep an eye on all of our social media stuff. We're posting videos daily. We're up on YouTube. We're doing all that stuff. Subscribe to our stuff. Give us a follow. And then if you're in the area, swing by the store, hang out, check out some guitars.
Yeah.
So remember, donate to Free Guitars for Kids. Buy some Stringjoy strings. And tune in next Thursday for Live 5. I'm Jack.
I'm Jake.
We'll see you around.
See you.